some of you might be asking, why is your face in the video? And the reason is I thought about doing the whole thing where I like film my journal in my hands, but then I realized I was only going to show like really one or two things, and none of them benefit from just being shown on a desk. So it would probably be really boring for me just to like film my hands while I'm talking. So I'm actually going to just show you my face. I think that it's okay for us to show our faces. In fact, I really personally, as a viewer, appreciate it when other journaling YouTubers occasionally show their faces. There are a few of you guys that do that, and it's nice because then I can put like a face with the voice, and I feel even more entwined in our parasocial relationship in which we are secretly best friends and you don't even know it because you have no clue who I am. And for some of you, we've never shown your face that I'm aware of, and I don't really know what you look like apart from maybe a couple of Polaroids you've shown in your journals of yourselves. So then I get to imagine what you look like in real life, and it's probably not too accurate. So I understand everybody has different comfort levels, but today I was like, I'm just going to show my face and yammer on for like 35 minutes because I have some very verbose answers to all of these questions. So let's get into it. Oh, by the way, of course, I want to give credit where credit is due. This is a journaling tag from LoveLynnsLife. We're going to actually hear a little bit more about her later in the video because she, spoiler alert, comes up as an answer to one of my questions. But I found out about this challenge from Paperworm because I've been kind of out of the journaling community for a couple weeks. I was just focusing on other stuff. And when I came back, Paperworm's video was right there in the inbox, ready to be watched. And I find out about all the tags from her. She often does tags from other YouTubers I'm subscribed to, but I always see her video first. So she's what I saw it from, but LoveLynnsLife started it. And it is the mid-year journaling tag. So it's July, we're halfway through the year. Let's reflect on the past year and the future of the year. What a great idea for a tag. So creative, so clever, so smart. People always come up with the best tags in this community. I just think we have the best tags. You know, I just think so. And it's true. So the first question is, what was the best thing about journaling this year? And my answer to that question is that because the year is 2021 and not 2020. Don't even want to say it too loud. But because it is this new year full of hope and a vaccine, there have been some things to do and things happening that haven't been canceled. So that's been the best part about journaling is I actually have stuff to write about that isn't just like the chaos in my head. Not to say that, you know, I'm not doing a lot of journaling about the chaos in my head. There's a lot of that still happening, but there's actually some journaling about real life stuff. Like I went somewhere and I touched grass without a mask on, and now I'm writing about it, like literally touching grass. It's so great. You could actually touch grass during the pandemic. You were allowed to go outside. It's not the same with the pandemic around. It's way better without a pandemic. Just trust me on this one. Okay, what are your favorite supplies at the moment? So this one's a tough one because I have quite a few. So first of all, just paper packs that I've been using up. I have not bought any new paper packs in I don't think I've bought any new ones in 2021 unless you count like the mini ones, which I just broke my like not buying them streak because it was a really good sale and they were really cool. They were metals, okay? I can't say no to metallic shiny things. But the big ones, I haven't bought any new ones, and I've been tearing through them, making a huge dent, and it's so satisfying. And paper, just gluing it onto your journal pages, I will defend this practice until the day I die. It adds so much bulk to your journals, which is super satisfying. It adds so much visual interest to your journals, which is super satisfying. You can write with glitter pens or like white pens, which is so interesting, or a Sharpie or something. There's so many interesting ways. It just forces you to be creative. It's such a simple thing that forces you to be creative. And just adds a lot of texture and interest to your journals. There's no downsides to using it. So I really like paper. The other thing is fountain pens. I'm not going to pull out my Lamy Safaris. I got 4 of them, and I always show them on Instagram all the time. They're like my 4 children. So I'm not going to show those, but those are always a joy to write with. This has also been a huge fun part of my journaling experience within the last few weeks. So this is a Moleskine glass dip pen. They claim it's handmade. I seriously doubt it because Moleskine is a company I really like from Amazon. Actually, well, they sell on Amazon. I get all of my favorite stickers and washi tape from Moleskine. They're super affordable, super great designs that are really cute. Just so much fun to use. Moleskine is all over my journals, and I didn't know they made pens, but this showed up in my recommended because Amazon knows who I am and they know what they're doing. And So yeah, this is rainbow on a black background, so I basically had to buy it. So the cool thing about this dip pen is that a lot of dip pens, this is my first one, but people say that you dip it and then you run out of ink immediately, and it's like really annoying to have to keep dipping and dipping and dipping. A dip pen, you just dip it in like an ink bottle. For example, I don't know, maybe a Monteverde ink bottle. You know, people obviously use other inks besides that, but like, just for example, if you wanted to use a Monteverde ink, you could dip it in there. And the way that this one works, I think is rather unique, is if you can look up here closely, you can see, even though this is not focusing great, you can see there's a coil pattern on the nib here, like a coil pattern. And what happens is you actually can, well, I can show you actually. So we'll take this Napa Burgundy ink, we'll unscrew it, and you can just dip this in here. You see the bottom is red, but then if you run it like this, the ink actually, I didn't dip enough. Okay, hold on. I'm still new to this. The ink actually, yeah, you can see it running down in that spiral pattern, and what that does is it actually, when you turn it back upside down and start writing again, it regulates the flow of ink down to the tip of the pen, which means that the writing seems to last a lot longer than you would expect from a dip pen. So I think that this is really awesome. I really like it. It's been fun to write with. There is a learning curve. Ink blots do happen because I'm still new and no amount of regulating can save me from my noobness, but it's really fun to write with, and it's a great way to use other inks that I don't currently have loaded into my fountain pen. And it's also a good excuse to go out and buy some more inks that I've had my eye on, which may or may not be a bad thing because I have a pretty big collection already, but they're so much fun. Okay, so that was my favorite supplies 30 minutes later. Okay. New things you've been doing in your journal/journaling the past 6 months. This isn't really like new permanently, but like I haven't done it in a while, is journaling with photographs, like actually getting photos printed at CVS. That's how many there are. And then talking about a thing I did or people I saw or a place I went, which I haven't done since like 2017. But this year I was like, everybody did this during the pandemic, right? Like when this lockdown is lifted, I'm gonna go so many places and do so many things. And yeah, I've been doing it because you don't mess around. You get one life, and now really taught you not to take it for granted. So at least for a while, I'm gonna be doing some things. So I've been taking pictures of the things I've been doing. I keep harassing people in my life, like, we don't take enough pictures. Take a picture. Let's take pictures. And like even like, here, take a picture of me. I'm going over here, which is not usually something that I used to do. But now it's like I want to have some memories in my journal. So yeah, I've been printing out pictures and writing about my life with pictures, and it's like almost like scrapbooking. We're coming for full circle, folks. So that's something new-ish I've been doing lately. What are you looking forward to journaling about this year? So again, this is like a really exciting year because the lockdown is lifted, so I'm actually going to do things. I'm going to be seeing my family a lot. They don't live locally, but I'm going to be visiting them in the fall and in the winter, and they might come visit me before then. I don't really know, but there's lots of visiting, lots of travel. I'm going to really excited to journal about all of that. Also, in terms of my career, I just started a new job in January, and I'm really excited to journal about it because I find that mindfulness kind of helps me stay focused at work and make sure I'm getting what I want to, because the career transition was like very mindful. Like I definitely knew what I wasn't getting from my other job as much as I loved it, and what I wanted to get out of this new job. So I want to make sure that I'm really, that it was worth it, that I didn't leave a great, amazing job that I loved a lot for no reason, and that I'm getting the most I can out of this one, because that's what careers are for, is to leap you forward. So I'm really excited to journal more about my career. It's like kind of been a lot of new stuff all year, and there's a big learning curve, and I'm gonna write every bit of it down. Not every bit of it, but some of it for sure. Okay, what have you stopped doing or journaling about? Why? Well, I guess this will pick up more in the future, but right now, as my journal stands, I don't have a lot of journaling about my family, which is a huge break from my past journals. All of my other journals, my family is front and center because I lived with them and they were like my main friends. They had to be. They could not escape me. And we did everything together. Oh, tonight we're going here. Oh, tonight we're doing this for dinner. Tonight we're going to go do that. This morning we went and did this. Like, we all had all these traditions and all these things we did together, and we spent all of our time together practically. And, well, now my journals don't have them in there as much because they're not local anymore and I don't live with them. So probably going to go back to that a lot more when I visit, but yeah, there's just a lot less of my family in my journals now, which is kind of sad, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's normal at my age for that to be happening anyway, so it doesn't have to be sad unless I make it sad. Okay, what surprised you about your journaling? Okay, here's what I was surprised by. This has happened a few times in my most recent journal, is I will think to myself, you know what, I'm just going to write a sentence or two about this thing, this thought that I have. It's just going to be, I'll just get it off my chest real quick. And then 4 pages later, there's like an orchestra in the background rising to a crescendo. People are rising out of their seats, clapping, applauding with their fists in the air. Like, it's become a speech. I'm giving a speech in my journal. I have written my manifesto. I have, really made a statement, and it's like, oh my gosh, where did all of that come from? Like, sometimes it really goes from one place to another. Like, I'll start with one thing and it'll get really extreme by the end, and I'll get about halfway through and I'll be like, I don't really believe any of these things I'm writing anymore, but for some reason I just need to put these words on paper. And that's one of the crazy things. Well, anyways, I'm going to talk about this in another video anyway, like a journal with me. I was planning on talking about this. But yeah, the rants have kind of come out of nowhere, and it's like, wow, I didn't know that was in there, but I guess it was. Good thing I have a journal for that, because my poor cat would have to listen to me giving speeches otherwise, and I don't think she wants to deal with that. Okay, what is your favorite journal you finished this year? I have a Markings by C.R. Gibson that I finished this year, and those journals always really inspire me a lot. I tend to insert them between all the other journals I try, and they're always winners. I always finish them really quickly, find them super inspiring, can't get enough of them, and just get into a really good flow with them. And there was no exception to that one this year. Plus, that was my journal 21 that I finished in 2021. So it's just kind of the best journal ever. What YouTubers inspire you lately? Oh, this is why I was so disappointed that I had to re-record, because this is such a long segment. But I will say it all again. So there are quite a few. The main one lately has been Paperworm. I just am really inspired by her aesthetic, and I really like the videos she makes, and she just also is really interesting with what she chooses to include in her videos. Because with journaling channels, naturally you find out a little bit about the person's personality and their life. That's like kind of par for the course. It's not just about journaling or stickers. But I find her wit to be very like funny, and her insights to be like really kind of profound. Like, she leaves me thinking. So I really find that inspiring. LoveLynnsLife, I promise I'm not just doing this because it's her tag, but actually I discovered her this year, probably through Paperworm, to be honest with you. And her videos are so inspiring and like very cozy as well. Like, when I found her channel, I binged so many of her videos right off the bat, because I just felt like it was an old friend, and I was like, oh yes, we are the same person, even though we're not. We have a lot of differences actually, but I just found her really relatable. I really liked her style and the way that she talked about things, and it was just really, really awesome. So I appreciated it a lot. Also, I can't believe I forgot to mention this one, but Journaling Zen is another YouTuber I've gotten really into this year. I think I followed her on Instagram for longer than this year, but I found her YouTube channel this year, and I just find it so cozy, just really relatable, just really soothing and calming. She has a really nice voice, and best of all, which is kind of weird because a lot of journaling YouTubers do this, but I like her beverages. I know everybody usually has something to drink, but for some reason her like mugs and her drinks just always seem so cozy. She always says what it is, and it always is just really a nice addition to the video. So I've been loving her channel as well. What is your journaling routine? You guys, earlier this year I had a routine, and it was awesome. I would journal for 30 minutes, read for 30 minutes, and then go straight to sleep, and it was so healthy and adult of me, and I just totally stopped doing it due to being undisciplined, and I want to start doing it again, because right now I have no routine. It's like, do I have thought? Then I'm going to write it down, because I spend most of my time here anyway, so it's just like my journal's always around, so I'm just going to write when I feel like it, which is kind of chaotic, but it also means that the stuff I get on paper is usually pretty meaningful. I don't just write for no reason. What is your favorite cover of a finished journal from this year? It's the same one, Journal 21. This is a journal, a Markings by Sarah Gibson cover that no longer exists. They don't make it anymore. You can get it on YouTube or eBay, but you used to be able to get it on eBay, and I had it in my cart, and I was like, do I need to hoard more journals? I have so many. Do I really need this limited edition cover of my favorite journal of all time? Do I need it? No. And then I got a notification that the seller is on vacation, and I'm never going to get one again. So that's what I get for being responsible. It'll be fine. Oh, also the stickers, never going to get these again. They're from Hobby Lobby, and I don't live anywhere near a Hobby Lobby, and that's just the end of it. I'm sure they don't even sell them anymore because it's been over a year since I got to go to the part of the country where they have these. So this is a one-of-a-kind journal, and it's my favorite one ever because these colors with these stickers is just, there's no parallel to these. It's perfect. It is my journal cover nirvana. Okay, and then finally, what are you going to focus on for the rest of the year? Any goals? Yes, the career goal is a big one. I already talked about that a little bit, but I just want to make sure I'm using journaling to help my career go smoothly and to get as much out of it as possible and to be really mindful about that. And I also want to finish, this is really ambitious, this is a reach goal. I want to finish 2 more journals in 2021. I really think I have it in me because there's so much coming down the pike, and I really feel like journaling is going to be a huge part of that. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that as well. I think that's going to be helpful. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, this was part of one of the earlier questions, but now that I'm re-recording it, I forgot to mention it, but I can work it in here, is like I recently switched therapists, and the new therapist, I really like her style. I feel like we're really vibing really well together and clicking, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more out of therapy than I was before. Of course, that could level out as time goes on, but right now I feel like there's a huge jump in personal development, and I'm really here for it, so I'm hoping I can use journaling to kind of accelerate that as well, because I really think there's a lot to gain. Just like with the career stuff, I feel like I have a huge opportunity here. I really want to get the most out of it, so I think journaling can always be a good tool to get the most out of any experience or exercise. So really looking forward to that. And that's the end of the questions. I definitely want you, yes you, whoever is watching this, to do this tag if you have any inclination to do so whatsoever. You don't have to show your face, although you can, because I would like to see it. No pressure. And yeah, just do this challenge. It's so interesting. It's really thought-provoking. We definitely want this one to get all over the place because I just need to hear everybody's answers. It's too fascinating. Like, these are great questions. People are so smart with their journaling tags. One day I'm going to do one. I'm going to come up with like a great one. I can't wait to share it. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, get a little more experienced on YouTube, but definitely one will be coming because these are the best part of the journaling community. This is one of the reasons why our community is the best one on YouTube or anywhere. So definitely do it if you want to. Huge thanks again to Paperworm for doing it, and for LoveLynnsLife, of course, for creating it and taking the time to come up with all of these brilliant questions. Goodbye.